Hey there! If you're looking for a fun and easy way to earn rewards, including cash and prizes, check out the link in the video description.
U.S. banks closed 79 branches in just 6 weeks, as the industry increasingly offers services online. The figures suggest the axing of costly bricks-and-mortar locations will continue, with total closures so far for 2024 above 400. California is worst affected by the recent closures with 20 registered shutterings between April 20th and June 1st. J.P. Morgan led the charge, shutting 18 branches under its Chase retail arm. Wells Fargo was next with 17, including 8 in just the past week. Bank of America filed to close 16 locations in states across the country including California, Florida, and New Jersey. Bank United, BMO Bank, Citizens Bank, and Inwood N.B. were also among those who announced closures. The closures, reported to federal regulator the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, mean that customers in the area will need to either drive further to another branch or turn to online banking for the majority of services. Each week, banks must tell the OCC of branches openings and closures. Banks said they would open 57 over the past 6 weekly reports. The openings and closures may then happen in coming weeks or months. Banks have announced the closure of more than 400 branches so far in 2024. See the boxes below for the latest ones and links to all the others this year. The last year in which the number of branches in the U.S. increased was 2011, when there were more than 85,000 throughout the U.S., according to FDIC data. Since then the number has dropped steadily to about 70,000. Most national banks like U.S. Bank, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo have become increasingly confident that online banking can meet most customers' needs. Closures can lead to significant savings. The average freestanding branch costs $2.6 million a year to run, according to Bankography, an Alabama-based consulting firm that advises banks. Stephen Ryder, the founder and president of Bankography, previously told DailyMail.com that banks are willing to close a branch that isn't really overlapping any other branch on the gamble that customers are willing to drive a little bit further. I think Bank of America has leaned into that more than the other large banks have, he added. Ryder also noted that Bank of America's merger history has meant it ended up with branches in rural locations while the industry is undergoing a rural-to-urban conversion. Every census since 1910 has shown a greater proportion of Americans living in urban areas than the preceding census, so as we become an increasingly urbanized country the demand in these legacy rural markets just fades away, he said. Ultimately, banks are looking to consolidate the markets they are already in, and that involves placing more focus on dominating in a handful of cities. For example, Chase is moving into Kansas City with force, Fifth Third is making similar moves into Charlotte, and PNC is targeting Austin. Though the number of bank branch closures started to ramp up through the 2010s, it was exacerbated by the pandemic, which kept people at home. In 2023, more than 1,500 bank branches were shut for good, with California and the Midwest worst hit. Click on the links below. Each article has the full list of closures for that time period. In January and February, banks closed 222 branches. U.S. Bank filed to shut 19 branches between February 25th and 9th. Wells Fargo filed to close 8 branches between March 10th and 16th. PNC, Citibank, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo behind 20 branch closures between March 17th and 23rd. U.S. banks had more openings than closures over a week, March 24th to March 30th. For the first time in 2024, U.S. Bank closes 10 branches while Bank of America shuts 3 in the week from March 31st to April 6th. TD Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase shut a total of 36 branches between April 7th and 13th. Bank of America, PNC, Citizens, and Chase behind latest branch closures from April 14th to 20th.